Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining me today. It's Alan Barry Labucan with the Rocks and Stocks News Show. This is Sunday, June the 25th. I generally talk about my bullish outlook for gold. Many people can look over my series of interview or shows that I've done for a long time now. I think we started a gold bull market in November of early November 2022. We've had some runs and some pullbacks, and those are normal. I believe that we are currently short-term oversold and ready for a significant rally. I'm also very bullish long-term. And the reasons for both, the bullishness on both of those is relating to the Federal Reserve has been very supportive of the US dollar over the last year and a bit. With their interest rate increases, it has gotten the US dollar overvalued. And I think it's going to come down as they have now stopped raising interest rates. They went through 14 years of near zero interest rates after the 2008 economic crisis, then jacked them up rapidly over the last year to a little over 5% where they are now. They're breaking things. They've broken the housing market in sales. They've broken the banking sector is now in a crisis. And I think that these things, as well as other problems they're causing, will cause them to stop raising interest rates, which will be bearish for the US dollar and bullish for gold and other metals. Plus, we've also got a currency war going on internationally. You've got the BRIC nations working together to create a network that they want to create an alternative to the US dollar as a world reserve currency, and they're starting to divest themselves of US debt and US dollars. They want an alternative to the US dollar for international trade. And while they're doing all this, they're also buying gold hand over fist. There's also a looming problem in the United States with commercial real estate that I think is very close to, you had 14 years of building the commercial real estate market on near zero interest rates. A lot of that's going to start rolling over this year, and they're going to have to go to the banks to get mortgages while they're at very high vacancy rates and refinance at much higher interest rates. So commercial real estate is in for a really bad problem ahead. And all of these things combined are why I'm so bullish on gold. But there was some news out in the last few days of the week, trading week, that I haven't talked about yet. So I want to talk about those various news releases. And I'm going to start out with Blackrock Silver. Let me just get their news up here that I want to talk about. As you can see in the headline, Blackrock Silver provides exploration update on the Tonopah West and the Silver Cloud projects. They updated the market on their 100% controlled high-grade gold projects in Nevada. Tonopah West is within the Walker Lane Trend in west central Nevada. Silver Cloud is located along the prolific northern Nevada Rift in north central Nevada. At Tonopah West, they have been using their time between drill programs to update and incorporate all of the 2022 drill information into their geological model. The new model includes Blackrock's northwest step-out drilling, which is located 1 kilometer northwest of the DPB resource, and increases the strike length of the vein system to over 3 kilometers. The new model is now ready and will form the basis for an updated resource estimate, which will be completed in the second half of the year. Based on the geological model, the northwest step-out area is projected to add additional tons to the updated resource while keeping a similar grade profile. So in the known resource so far, they've got a one of the highest grade undeveloped silver resources in the business, and lots of room to expand on that. And a lot of their drilling in 2022 significantly expanded on the footprint of that resource. So I expect that they're going to have a very significant updated resource for that Tonopah area. Silver Cloud, I'm very excited about, and they noted that the core drill has arrived. Drilling is now underway at Silver Cloud for their fully funded program. Pad and road construction at Northwest Canyon commenced on June 12th, and drilling commenced on June the 21st. So they're just about 4 or 5 days into it. The initial drill holes are targeting the extension of the bonanza grade silver and gold intercept encountered in SBC 22-020, which hit 70 grams of gold and 600 grams of silver over 1.5 meters. The program is testing approximately 500 meters of strike along the high-grade vein. New bonanza grade discovery at Northwest Canyon has provided knowledge into the controls on the silver and gold at Silver Cloud. They also have 2 additional targets have been identified, 800 meters and 1600 meters to the east of Northwest Canyon. These targets are similar to Northwest Canyon and form a series of structures along the eastern margin of the Silver Cloud graben. Based on the multiple vein scenario, a Midas mine-like system is envisioned with this northerly oriented vein swarm between Northwest Canyon and the Silver Cloud Mercury mine. The drill program will test this concept. So when you get into these epithermal vein systems like Silver Cloud, the thing you want to find is the boiling zone or the bonanza zone of that epithermal vein. And they have done that at their Northwest Canyon target. And now they're following it up, and they're doing a significant amount of expansion drilling along strike, and they sort of know the depth that they need to go to because they've already hit the boiling zone. So, you know, I'm a big fan of these epithermal vein systems. Sometimes they can be spectacularly profitable mines with very high grade and low costs. And I think that they've got something very special at their Silver Cloud project. Really happy to have Blackrock Silver on as a sponsor of my work. So it enables me to do a lot of content. I've done interviews with Andrew Pollard, who's their CEO. You can find that on my YouTube channel at Rocks and Stocks News, and also on my Substack at rocksandstocks.substack.com. All righty. And I'm just going through these alphabetically. So the next one is the C, which is for Copper Road Resources. And they announced that they've identified priority JR zone targets for upcoming drilling program at its project in Batchewana Bay, Ontario. They announced the proposed 2023 drill program at their highly prospective JR zone at its Copper Road project in Batchewana Bay. Here you look at some of the past drilling. In 1964, they hit 147 meters at 0.27% copper, moly, copper equivalent of 0.55%. This is very important and significant in the world of copper projects these days. They had more of that kind of material. This breccia, Richard's breccia really has me excited because sometimes in these kind of areas, you get these breccia pipes and they can make for significant mines, and they tend to be higher grade than the porphyry that's associated with them. And as you can see here in their drilling, 27 meters at 1.46% copper, with some gold and silver in there as well at a vertical depth of approximately 50 meters. So that's another thing. These breccias come right to surface. The company interprets the high-grade mineralization to follow the perimeter of the breccia pipe, similar to the Breton breccia, the Tribag mine zone. This is supported by semicircular geometry of the gradient IP anomaly associated with the Richards breccia. There's a quote in here from John Timmons, who's the CEO and president. He stated, and I quote, "The JR zone contains lengthy intersections of near-surface breccia and porphyry-hosted mineralization that are untested at depth and untested for byproduct minerals. Confirmatory MMI lines and historical geophysics demonstrate the potential for a larger zone of mineralization at the Jogran porphyry and additional larger breccia targets to the northwest and to the south of the Richards breccia. We are confident that our proposed summer exploration program will demonstrate the potential of the JR zone to host a large tonnage near-surface copper deposit containing a suite of byproduct minerals," end quote. So then they talk more about the JR zone, the Jogran porphyry, the Richards breccia. Here they give you, so you see, here's how these breccia pipes, and they've only got a few holes into the breccia pipe, but already showing excellent continuity and more of these breccia pipes. They think that this could be the top of a porphyry, as you can see in these purple dots here. Some of the historical drilling. Then they've got the Jogran target here, a porphyry, and Richards target here, and more targets over here. So you could be seeing at a cluster of those breccia pipes, which is often the case when you get these kind of breccia pipes associated with porphyries. And so, yeah, they've got, they're doing a non-brokered private placement for gross proceeds of 400 grand. So yeah, they're getting ready to start drilling at this project near Batchewana Bay. Excellent infrastructure. It's not going to be high cost drilling. And they've got some great targets. You know, I really am bullish on copper, but finding a lot of good copper exploration stories is challenging for me. And I think that these guys have one. So take a look at Copper Road Resources. Next is Galantas. Galantas Gold is also a sponsor, and they announced that Galantas Gold to commence new surface exploration drilling at the Oma project. This is an orogenic gold system called Oma in Northern Ireland, and they plan on early July, so maybe a week from now. They've had their community meetings. Here's what really stands out to me. The holes will target gaps in areas of inferred resource at the main Joshua vein, including an additional predicted dilation zone, which has potential for higher widths of mineralization. The dilation zone identified to date at the Joshua vein, located approximately 400 meters from the other main Kearney vein, are expected to be incorporated into mine planning and future mine development, including potential plans to drill Joshua from underground to advance mining and resource exploration or expansion. So these dilation zones are very important for mining, because what happens in these orogenic gold zones, that sometimes they'll open up and have a dilation zone. So in that dilation zone, you can get very high grade and very profitable to mine. But from an exploration perspective, as you follow those dilation zones, kind of lead you where you should be going deeper. This system already has very high grade gold, 21 grams of gold over 2.1 meters, 12 grams over 5.6, 8.4 grams over 26 meters. So you're getting some very good grades there, and suggesting that this orogenic gold system is a very powerful system. of gold mineralization, and they're still very high in the system. So that's where you find the fine grained gold. As you get deeper and closer to the heat engine that caused that mineralization, you'll start to see that more coarse gold, and those dilation zones and the known zones are going to help them to do that. Mario Stefano, who's the CEO of Galantas, commented, and I quote, "We are excited to mobilize the drill to embark on this new phase of exploration as we transition from underground drilling to surface drilling. Information gathered during this drill program will be critical in helping us to optimize the mine plan and potentially add high-grade ounces to production," end quote. So there again, I go back to the importance of these dilation zones. They're important for mining and they're important for exploration. And that's the story of Oma. It's a mining operation that they're bringing in contract miners with a lot of experience mining these kind of systems. And they're also doing drilling to follow those dilation zones deeper. And as they get deeper into this orogenic gold system, I think they're going to start to see visible gold in their drilling, and also more coarse grain gold. And they've got several zones in this orogenic gold system that are associated to a big deep fault structure that is the plumbing. Likely the plumbing for all of these known zones that are in close proximity to each other. So I think you've got a very powerful orogenic gold mineralizing system here that has very high grades close to surface in sort of the fine grained portion of that system. And they're going to keep following it deeper with the mining and the drilling to try to find themselves something like a Swan zone at the Fosterville mine in Australia. That was a company maker for Kirkland Lake that made them one of the lowest cost producers of gold in the business. Very high grade and low margin, high grade and low costs, which resulted in high margins, made them one of the most profitable gold mining companies, one of the best performers, and ultimately led to them being a multi-billion-dollar takeover. This is an exciting orogenic gold system, and I think you're going to hear lots about it in the near future. All right, and the final company today is Puma Exploration, which is a new sponsor of my shows just in the last month or so. They announced that they sampled 288 grams of gold in preparation for upcoming drill program at their 100% owned Williams Gold Project in northern New Brunswick. They grabbed samples on a new gold-bearing quartz vein at the Lynx Gold Zone, graded up to 288 grams of gold. Another was 35 grams of gold and 2.78 grams of gold. Furthermore, they're doing additional trenching, detailed mapping. The nice thing about this project is there's only a couple meters of soil cover, so they can strip that away and expose the bedrock to then sample it. And they're getting a lot of great grades there. As you can see, here's all the quartz veining that they've exposed in their trenching. Then you look at 128 grams of gold, 77, 52. There's just lots of gold all over this system. And it runs for a very long distance as well. So they've got a lot of drilling that they're doing, that they're going to be doing. And Marcel Robillard, who is the president and CEO of Puma Exploration, stated, and I quote, "Understanding and modeling the Lynx Gold Zone is critical to unlocking the area's full potential and building a gold camp at the Williamsburg Gold Project. Unlike many other exploration companies, we can gain incredibly valuable information through very low-cost surface exploration work because the gold-bearing veins we're targeting start at the surface with just a thin veneer of soil." That's my addition. I'll go back to quoting him. "With only 13,000 meters of drilling, we've defined an area that spans 750 meters along strike, is 75 meters wide and 100 meters deep. We know that the LGZ is open at depth and 3 kilometers along strike. Our upcoming 2023 drilling program will expand that zone, and our ongoing surface exploration work will ensure we maximize returns there and throughout the 46,000 hectare Williamsbrook land package, said Marcel Robillard, end quote. There you can see some of their gold-bearing samples. Here you can see where it's been exposed, and the link zone itself is quite exciting because I'm going to go to their corporate presentation, and I'm just going to show you what really pumps me up about this Links Gold Zone. So sorry about that. Here's their corporate presentation, and it's just uploading. Give it a second. All righty. So let's go down and find the cross. Okay, here you go. This is the Links drilling to date. And as you can see here, this represents a great gold grade shell of 10 to 50 grams as these hotter colors. And as you can see there, it's like a stacked series of zones that are parallel to each other and with very good grades right at surface and still wide open to keep drilling them, keep following them deeper. Now, who knows, maybe at some point they start getting more vertical. Right now they've got this dip to them, but look at all that high grade gold that's in that system. That is tremendously exciting. Here you can see some visible gold in the microscopic version of it. Yeah, so lots of work to do to further expand on this. And then they're also finding, as you can see here, more zones and significant extensions of the Links discovery. Look at that, in 2019, 5.55 grams per ton of gold over 50 meters. This is a tremendously exciting system. And I think they're going to have a lot of success with their drilling based on all this information that they've provided. And I think you should take a look at Puma. In fact, I just recently did an interview last week with Marcel Robillard about their sort of the big picture of the project. You can find that on my YouTube at Rocks and Stocks News. Or on my or also on my Substack at rocksandstocks.substack.com. So there you go, folks. Give you some reasons why I'm bullish on gold, and I also talked about a few 4 sponsors of my shows that make my work possible. These companies, they pay me a fee. But I have full control over what I talk about, when I talk about it. I don't have any intention to try to affect their valuations. I'm thankful that they, for myself, the Rocks and Stocks News Show, and my viewers, because they make my work possible. But as always, my shows are for information purposes only. It's important for you to speak with your financial advisors and do your homework before making any investment decisions. A good way to do that is I interview all my sponsors. So again, you can go to my YouTube channel at Rocks and Stocks News, so you can see those interviews that I do with management, and we dig deeper into their news releases and their projects. And that's a good start for your homework. Then go to their websites and check out their news releases, their corporate presentations. Give the companies a call, reach out to them on emails. That'll help you do your more thorough due diligence on the companies that I follow. On that note, have a great day, and we will talk to you soon.